Hi, welcome to Batticaloa Model Railway. I'm Darshan. In this video, we will have a look at the JMRI program that I have installed here to control my layout, and also the board that I have tidied up and installed some of the new components to connect to the JMRI software. Another thing that I have done is change one of the sections in my main layout as a test track. So when I want to test anything, when you want to do programming on a test track, then you can use that section to do the programming, and during normal times it will be part of your layout. I know this is not very clear, but I'll just explain, and I'll put a photograph of the section that I explained, so it will be easier for you to follow. So this is actually the control for the connectivity to the NC Power Cab and Pro Cab. So I have installed these two circuit breakers. So these circuit breakers will prevent any short on my layout. So I have sectioned the layout when I did the wiring. So two main lines are running. So I have put these two, which I had already bought when I came from England. So that got installed, and this terminal block was bought recently, so that was replaced. So I was using the normal type, which was a bit untidy. So that's connected. So I have put a drawer type thing now, so it comes out rather than earlier the plan was to fold it behind. I think this is better for the wires and things, but only problem is it doesn't open that much, but it's okay. I've done most of the wirings there. And the one that I have here is actually the reverse loop switch that controls my reverse loop. This is the switches that I'm using to set up the section of my tracks on the layout as test track, and it will double up as test track and part of my layout. So what I'm using here is this double pole double throw switches. So it's two-way switch. So basically how it works is it's quite easy. You have the connection, you get the connection where you want to send the power from the middle, and then both sides can have two separate inputs. So depending on which side you are throwing, the connection will be made from one side to the middle or the other side to the middle. So that's the main use of these switches. So I have used two of them to control my switch between the test track and the main layout. So I will show you a diagram when I so the diagram is like this. So if you need more information, please contact me, but it's quite self-explanatory when you're looking at the system. So the three poles that you see are the three terminals. So I have just shown one section of the wire, but there will be two wires for each terminal. So this way you can actually control both your you can switch between a test track and the main track. But the powerhouse system that I have, it will switch between test track and the main track as well. But when you are doing programs on your main track, what it does is it picks up the numbers. For example, if you give 3 that you are going to initialize put a new number to a new loco that you bought, so you use number 3 and it will pick up the loco that is on your main layout, and then it knows which one you are going to program, and you give the new number, and that will hopefully go into the new loco. But the issue is, if you are going to do it on your main tracks, there will be other locos. You have to remove the locos in case if something goes wrong, or it might not read the CVs properly. So in order to prevent that, or just as a safeguard measure, to switch my test track section, in one combination it will become a test track, and it will be isolated from all the other main layout. The other option is actually it will switch off the whole layout and give the main power to the test track section. So I can be sure that there are no trains on the test track section. It's just a straight line, and if you are going to do any programming, it is not going to mess up any of your other locos which is on your main layout, if that makes sense. So it is very handy, and I'm sure it will work, and I have tried it once, so everything is working perfectly, and there won't be any double connections or anything because of the double pole double throw switches, because when it's on, the other one is off. So it has worked out quite well. So I will put that is one of the main reasons that I went for this combination of these switches. So let's have a look at the software I have. So before I go into the software, I'm not, as you know, there's no point in going through the details of it because there are loads of videos of how to connect, and that's how I learned how to connect my system, the NCE system. So for your particular controller, you will have a separate interface, so check what you need and then you can buy that. The good thing is I was thinking of actually installing replacing my control systems with the advanced one, even though this is very good, but I couldn't get certain features like using a phone or connecting to the Wi-Fi to control my layouts, because the trains or wireless controller same as this with a small antenna at the bottom, but they are around probably around $200-300 dollars. So I was thinking of upgrading everything together if I'm going to go for one of those throttles, because it will be much easier to walk around and control it. But then I saw some videos about you can linking some of the new controllers will actually link your phones or any other Wi-Fi devices that you have to control your trains. We railroad modelers like to experiment with a lot of things. So this is I would strongly advise, if you can do this, please go ahead and try it out before you invest on any other systems. So what it doesn't do is it doesn't increase the power to your layout or any of these things. That's why I thought I think that you need a system to control the layout, so all the power and the layout adequacy of the power and everything is depends on the power boosters you have and the system that you're running. But apart from that, to control and program CVs and program new locos and all these things are you can do it from here. So that is the main reason I have done this double pole. Show a closer look, the double pole double throw switches around here, which will convert my section of the tracks as a test track, double up as test track, and the main part of the layout. As I said, the software is free for you to download and then install, but then you will need a computer. So I have a computer here. It's a second-hand Samsung refurbished computer. I think it cost me around 20,000, 25,000 without the monitor. So this monitor I had it for more than 10 years, I think. It was part of my business POS system, point of sale system. So it has a touch screen. So I mounted it, and I connected a USB port, and not even any drivers actually. So it just started working, which was I was pleasantly surprised. So that's the investment you have to make, with the computer. But so I will show you the JMRI. JMRI stands for Java Model Railroad Interface. So this is the actual interface that I have for my NCE system, which has a normal USB printer cable connected to the computer, and from my NCE system there's a connection to the other end. So JMRI comes in two parts. I think the mainly used two modules are the Decoder Pro and Panel Pro. So JMRI is an open source program, as I mentioned before. So it is free, and most of the big layouts in US, these professional layouts are using them, and it's like when you see those things, it's look like sky is your limit when you want to do these things, and it can do anything that you can imagine and want to do. Everything can be handled by JMRI. So it's a very advanced program. It's good to have a go at it before you invest on any of the other systems that you are thinking of. So let me just start JMRI. I'll show you the Panel Pro, because the Decoder Pro is about programming and creating a roster. You can create the roster. The roster is the locomotives that you have on your layout, so you can create them. And then the schematics and everything, the layout diagram, everything goes into the Panel Pro, which actually controls the trains that are running. So if I open JMRI, you can see this. It comes up with the screen. You can have several other layouts as well if you want to, several systems. So once that countdown is over, you can start it immediately, or it will start up automatically. So when you see this is actually my schematic. You can see it here. Sorry, it's not very clear because I cannot do a screen recording here, because the program, I don't know if that will handle, because it's a very low configuration computer. I just wanted to try it on a very low configuration computer, because Java, I know for sure it's not a very load-bearing software. That's why mainly it is used, and that the main purpose is it's platform free. So it's we have a if you have a Mac, then you can still download the Mac version and install it as well. So you can see the general diagram of my layout here. Then I have the roster that is with all the locos that I have. So if I select my loco, you will see it will show the photo and everything is inserted, and then you can get throttle and all these things. I will show you in a minute. And the other thing that I want to show you here is when it starts up, this is actually the Y throttle, which actually gives access through the Wi-Fi to the system here to control your locos from your phone or your tablet or anything that you can connect to a Wi-Fi. And again, that also is very handy, because you can use any knackered old Wi-Fi device that can run an app or a web browser. It will be fine. So you can see this tablet. It's quite old. It's probably on the second tablet I bought when I was in England. It's at least 12 years old. Samsung, and you can see the state of the cover here, and this actually works fine. It's a bit slow, but it works fine. So I will show that as well. So anything that will connect to a Wi-Fi. It will connect, you can use it to control the system, the trains. And the schematic, it's a basic schematic that you have done. I have done with the program here. There are, if you have any rail, you can actually do a simple layout like this and then import it in here as well. But I did try that, but that is a bit complicated because bringing the whole layout that you have designed using any rail and bringing it into the system will be a bit complicated because you don't need so much of details. So this is the flattened version of my layout, which works very fine. And as you can see, all these circles are the points, and the great thing is you can just touch and you can hear them working. So, and goes back. Okay, and then the other thing that you have is the Wi-Fi throttle, or that's the Wi-Fi server, and then you have the routes. This is very useful as well. So I will show you this in action. This starts up automatically as well, so I have set it up here on the so if I go to edit, you can see all these routes, all the points here, probably around 14 points I have set here. So that will get initialized and it will get to the positions that I know for sure that when I start the layout, it is set to that position, so I know the main loops will work. All the points are set to the main loops, so there won't be any derailments. With certain decoders, sometimes you have to press the button to get the lights on, but in order to get the lights on, you normally will do a macro programming on your NC system to initialize the points that you want to be initialized, so the lights come up automatically. With the NC system, there's a limitation where you can only have 10 points controlled using a macro at one given time. So you will have to use more than one macro, or your numbers of points that you're initializing should be less than 10 or 12. But here it's not like that. You can set any amount of, you can definitely set more than 15, I think, from what I have experienced, but I think it will probably control hundreds of it in one go. So these are the routes that I have set up. So I have made this to start automatically when I start Panel Pro. So when it starts up, it brings up my schematic layout, the roster, and the Wi-Fi throttle starts up automatically, and finally it will open the routes and it will set up the routes for my layouts, initializing and bringing up all the signal lights on my layout. The other thing that I want to show is these apps. So I hope you can see this. Okay, so I have engine driver app, and select, then I select loco, and you can see all my locos there. Because I'm running the web server as well, it brings up all the loco models as well. So if I touch that, you can see it starts up and forward reverse, and if I say just long horn, you can see it's a short horn. So everything works perfectly, like a dream. So I was really surprised how easy it was to, once you got the JMRI working, to set up all these things. It was quite a breeze. So that's why I thought doing a video just to show you guys, it's worth a try. So that's one version, and the other version that you have is actually you can this is probably much useful when it comes to much useful when it comes to the tablet, but you have a web version of it. Okay, so hopefully you can see this. It's better to be used on the tablet. You give the IP address of your computer and then the port number which is in the system. You can find that port number, and you will have this access to this web page. So the IP address, there's a setup there, but I think it will be handy if you want to give static IP address so that it doesn't change every time you try to connect. And there is of course the throttle as well, same as what you saw on the app, but here it also gives you the schematics as well. So if you touch that, you see it will actually open you the same layout that you have on the computer. So sorry guys that this is not very professional to show you things like this, but with my limitations I think this is the best I can do at the moment. So the reason that I'm showing this is because you can have it on the tablet, and then you can control it. You can fit your tablet anywhere you want and then control it on that as well. So I will show you the so on here, if I go back and if I show you the focusing, so open throttle, and it gives you the same thing a bit. So you see, depending on the decoder that you have selected, if you have selected the correct decoder, it will have all the names already in there. So you can see. So it's in a. I don't think I have to prove my point any further because it's all quite clear, and it is such a wonderful software. And as I said, sky is the limit if you want to go. If you want to improve your layout and the things that you want to do, block detection and these things, everything can be controlled here. Signaling, you can have sensors connected to this so that it knows when the train is passing through. Of course, these are additional expenses, as you would imagine, because all these things need to be bought, not only the sensors but also the interface that will connect to your computer. Once that is connected, then the JMRI will pick it up, and then you can do the programming using scripts, which I haven't actually done it, but I'm looking forward to doing it because I'm sure I can manage that. But one step at a time, and just install this, but I'm waiting for my wife to return from France. So when she comes, hopefully I will get some goodies. So the things that I've actually ordered will be she can bring it back. So that way it will be a fun time to do this and try to improve and experiment. So let me run one of the trains. Probably I'd run the same class 37, which has the sound as well, so it will be much enjoyable. So then I'll do it on my computer here, so you can see. Then I say that's the programming. So you open the throttle, then that is the throttle that comes up for this train loco. so you can see the number, and then you make sure the routes are clear. So I make sure that it's clear, so that changes. So then I have to see, starts up. So that goes straight. Probably switch on the lights as well, and you will see the train coming through. Slow it down. Lights on, lights off, shut on. So now I will show it to you on the web server, how that will look. Pretty much the same. You can see it just increased. That's the engine sound. So it's pretty simple. So bring it down, it stops. Probably switch off the engine. Then you switches off, you can see. So that's about it for the JMRI. I hope you like the video, and I just want to put it out there just for me to have a record of what I'm doing on my layout, how I'm planning, and how am I improving. And since I used it and I enjoyed it so much, I thought it's worth having a video about this, and all the advantages it has. But you can test it on your computer. I'm sure there'll be you will enjoy it, and once you are confident that you can get the use out of it, and then you can invest if you want to go down that path. I will do another video just to have a running session to show how easy it is to control everything on the using the JMRI. It's a lot of fun. So I hope you have enjoyed my video, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Post them on the comments, and if you need any help, please contact me. And until I see you on my next video, thank you for watching Batticaloa Model Railway. Cheers.